So now we are going to start again polity. Okay, from 101. Which one of the following statement not correct? The Press Council of India, an autonomous quasi-judicial body established under Act of Parliament. That's true. The Information Bureau provides accreditation to media persons so as to easy access to information from government sources. Okay, and among all the states of India, Maharashtra published the largest number. No, UP. Okay, so C is the wrong because among all of them, UP published the largest, and the Press Trust of India is the largest news agency in India. Okay, now next, consider the following statement in the Electoral College of the President. So it is total value of votes of the elected MLA. Okay, and total number of elected MP. Which statement is correct? So statement 1 is like legislative assembly equal state population upon number of elected MLA into 100. It's not 100, it's 1000, 1 upon 1000, and there were more than 500 members in the latest election. It's wrong, so only 2. So it's given here the president, like it's correct because there should be 1000 instead of 100, and the president indirectly elected by means of electoral college consisting the elected member of the legislative assembly participated in the election, elected president, and so their total number is 4890. Which one of the following statement is not correct? So the national song Vande Mataram was composed by the Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, originally in Bengali. The national calendar of India based on the Shaka era has its first Chaitra on March normally and 21 March in the leap year, and the design of national flag of India was adopted by Constitutional Assembly. The song Jana Gana Mana composed originally in Bengali and was adopted in Hindi version and Constituent Assembly on 24 January. So what do you think about not correct? So it's national song Vande Mataram was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Bengali. National calendar of India based on the Shaka era has its first Chaitya March normally and 21 March in the leap year, and the design of national flag of India was adopted by the Constituent Assembly. So A is the national song of Vande Mataram was originally composed in Sanskrit. Other statements are correct and self-explanatory. The national song Vande Mataram was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. It was in Bengali. It's not in Bengali, it's in Sanskrit. And the national calendar of India Saka era was 22 March, normally 21 March. Design of national flag of India was adopted by the 22 July. And the Jana Gana Mana composed originally in the Bengali by Rabindranath Tagore, adopted in its Hindi version and Assembly 24 January. Next, which one of the following article of Indian Constitution provide that it shall be duty of the Union to protect every state against external aggression on internal disturbance? So it is Article 355, which is like it shall be a duty of Union to protect states against external aggression, internal disturbance. It shall also be the duty of the Union to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provision of this Constitution. Match the following directive principle of state policy. This is Ireland. Fundamental right. This is United States of America. Concurrent list in the Union state, and India is a union of state with greater power of the Union. So it's D. A is 3. Okay, Ireland. B is 5. United States of America. C is 1. It's Australia, and D is 2. India is a union of state with greater power to the Union. It's Canada. Now, which one of the following is must be passed by each house of the Indian Parliament separately by a special majority? It's Constitutional Amendment Bill. This amendment must be effected by the majority of the total number of each house of Parliament, as well as by a majority of not less than 2 by 3rd of member of the house present and voting. So it's a Constitutional Amendment Act which is passed by not less than 2/3 of the member of the House present and voting, and majority of total members of the House of Parliament. Now next one is 107. The function of the Finance Commission are to allow the withdrawal of the money out of the Consolidated Fund of India. No. And to allocate between the states and center share, and to consider application for grant in aid, and to supervise report whether the union and state government are levying tax in accordance with the budgetary provision. So Here, first is completely wrong because money out of consolidated fund of India is not withdraw because of finance commission. It's a different provision. Like finance commission has no authority to allow from consolidated fund of India, and it does not supervise the reports of financial matters. So one is wrong, obviously. So now we will check the fourth to supervise the reports whether the union state government has levying tax in accordance with budgetary provision. So it's like finance commission recommended on the distribution of tax to be divided between center and state, and it also suggests the principle which should we should behaving like. So it is also suggests the principle which should govern the grant in aid of the revenue of the state out of the consolidated fund of India. Which of the following constitutional amendment are related to raising the number of member of Lok Sabha to be elected from the states? So it's a 7th and 31st amendment. So among the many change, the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act amendment the Article 81 of Constitution provide that the House of People shall consist not more than 500 members elected from the state and not more than 25 members from the UT. But later 31st Constitutional Amendment Act provided the Lok Sabha shall consist to 525 members from the states and 20 from the UT. Which among the following country was the earliest to give women the right to vote? Right to vote to the women, it's New Zealand. So in the year of 1893, New Zealand gave the right to vote to the women island. India and US gave the right to vote to women in 1915 and 50 respectively. Which one of the following schedule of the Indian Constitution lists the name of the state and specific territories? State's name and specific territory is the first schedule. So it's the schedule of the Indian Constitution lists the name of state and specific their territory A. Okay. So the first schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the states and their territory and union territory. Second schedule contains the provision relating to emolument, salary, act of the office like president, governor and deputy speaker, judge of Supreme Court, cake. And third schedule contain oath and affirmation. And fourth schedule contain allocation of seats in Rajya Sabha. With reference to Indian public finance, considered disbursement from public account of India are subject of the white vote of parliament. The Indian constitutional provides for the establishment of consolidated fund and the public account contingency fund and appropriation and disbursement under the railway budget are subject to the same from the parliamentary control as the appropriation and disbursement. So it's not same. Okay. Disbursement from the public account of India are subject to the vote of parliament. So public account is not for the vote for parliament first of all, and it's same railway and disbursement and the railway budget and other appropriation. It was same. Okay, the Indian Constitution provide for the establishment of consolidated fund and public account and contingency fund of each state, but public account of India are not subject to the voting. Okay, that's it. So disbursement from public account of India is not subject to the vote, and it is operated through the executive order. All other public more other than those credited to the consolidated fund of India received by on behalf of government shall be credited to the public account. So they are mostly in nature of banking transaction. Which of the following statement is not correct? So in Lok Sabha, no confidence motion has to set out the grounds on which it based. No confidence motion. Okay. In the case of no confidence motion, Lok Sabha and condition of additionally have been laid down in the rules, and the motion of no confidence admitted has to be up within the 10 days of the leave being granted. Rajya Sabha is not empowered to entertain a motion of no. So D is correct. And Lok Sabha no confidence motion has to set out the grounds on which it based. Okay, and B's case of no confidence motion, Lok Sabha condition of admissibility have been laid down in the rules. So I think here is D. Rajya Sabha is not empowered to enter the motion of. Actually, Rajya Sabha also empowered to entertain the motion of no confidence. Uh, no. D will be right. Okay, Rajya Sabha is not empowered to entertain the motion of no confidence, but A is the wrong because in Lok Sabha a no confidence motion has to set out through ground on which it best. So it's not true, like there is no need to set out the grounds for no confidence motion. This is needed in case of censor motion. Like censor motion is what if we are condemning someone that he is not doing his duties according to that. So the constitution states that the council of ministry are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. It means that they should enjoy the support of the majority of Lok Sabha members. The procedure of motion of no confidence is mentioned in the rules 198 of conduct of business rules of Lok Sabha. Okay. So this was 121 and 12. Now next one is Consider the following statement. The highest criminal court of the district is the court of district and session court. The district judge are appointed by the governor in consultation with the high court, and a person to be eligible for the appointment as district judge should be an advocate or pleader of 7 years standing or more, or an officer in judicial service of union and state. And when the session judge awards death sentence, it must be confined by the high court before it is carried out. The highest criminal court district is the district and session court. This is true. The district judge are appointed by governor in the consultation with the high court. And okay, a person to be eligible for the appointment as district judge should be have advocate or pleader of the 7 years standing or more, or an officer in judicial service of the union and state. And when a session of judge awards death sentence, it must be confirmed by the high court before it is carried out. So all are right here. Okay, all are right. So the statement enshrined the Article 233 of the Constitution. As far as organizational structure, subordinate judiciary is concerned, it is laid down by the state broadly. The statement is also correct, as the death sentence passed by the session judge has to be confirmed by the High Court whether there is appeal or not. Consider the following statement. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha has the power to adjourn the House sine, but on prorogation it is only the President who can summon the House. So sine, but on the prorogation it is only the President who can summon the House. Okay, unless sooner dissolved or there is a extension of term, there is a automatic dissolution of Lok Sabha, and at the end of period of 5 years, even if no formal order of dissolution is issued by President, the Speaker of Lok Sabha continues office even after the dissolution of House and until immediately before the first meeting of the House. So 1 and 3 is right clearly, and 2 is we will check again. Unless sooner dissolved or there is a extension of term, there is a automatic dissolution of Lok Sabha by effects of time at the end of 5 years, and even if no formal order dissolution is issued by President. So before 5 years it can be automatically dissolved if end of the period of 5 years, and even if no formal order of dissolution is issued. Now next one is, which one of the following statement correctly describe the fourth schedule? So it allocates seats in the Council of States. It's very easy. Okay, now fourth schedule is the contain the allocation of seats for the Council of States. Seventh schedule contains the distribution of power between the union and state. It's contains subject of union list, state list, and concurrent list. And eighth schedule contains 22 languages and recognized constitutional. Sixth schedule contains the provision of regarding the admission of tribal area in the state of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. The resolution for the removing the vice president India moved in the it's Rajya Sabha alone. Okay, it should be in mind, like for the resolution to remove the vice president, only Rajya Sabha. Next, with reference to the Constitutional of India, which one of the following pair is not correctly matched? Forest is concurrent list, right? Stock exchange is union list, not concurrent list. Post office union list, okay, and public health is state list, okay, right? Next, superintendent's direction, conduct of free fair election, prepare an electoral roll, all election and parliament, state legislature, the office of president, vice president, giving recognition to political party, allocating to symbol and political party, and contesting the election. Proclamation of the final verdict in the case of election dispute. Proclamation of the final verdict in the case of election dispute. So in the election disputes are not resolved by the election commission, okay, it is resolved by the Supreme Court. They will go there, okay, and High Court basically, but normally all three was in that, okay. So it is the High Court decide to election petition involve dispute in parliament as well as the state legislature. So this was the question number 1A18. Now question number 119 will be there. So it is the highest deciding body for the planning in India's planning commission. It's Niti Aayog now, but it's older question, so we can assume like yes. And the planning is India is also the secretary of National Development Council. That's true. And constitution include economic, social planning, concurrent list, and 7 schedule of the, yeah, all of 3. Like we can say like 2 and 3 are right, because nowadays like there is a Niti Aayog, so that's why we can rule out the first option, but second is still prevalent. With reference to the Indian Parliament, which one of the deciding body, it's saying deciding body, actually it's older question but it's saying deciding body. So deciding body is also NDC, not planning commission. Planning commission is just for to making the plan, okay. Deciding is by NDC. With reference to the Indian Parliament, which one of the following is not correct? The appropriation bill must be passed by the both of house before it can be enacted. Yes. No money shall be withdrawn from the consolidated fund except under the appropriation made by the Appropriation Act, right? And finance bill is required for proroguing new tax, but no another bill act is required for making change in the rates of tax which are already under operation, okay. No money bill can be introduced except on the recommendation of president, not president. Yeah, money bill is for the recommendation of the president actually. But the first is appropriation bill must be passed by both the House of Parliament before it can be enacted into the act. So an appropriation bill or the running bill or the supply bill is a legislation motion bill that authorize the government to spend money. In most democracy, approval of the legislature is necessary for the government to spend the money. So an appropriation bill or running bill or supply bill is a legislation motion bill and that authorize the government to spend money. In most democracy, approval of the legislature is necessary for the government to spend the money. Okay, now next, which one of the following article of the Constitution of India say that the executive power of every state shall be so exercised as not to impede the prejudice the exercise of executive power of the union? It's Article 257. So provision is mentioned under Article 257(1) in the Constitution of India deal with the control of union over the states. The executive power of union shall also extend to the giving the direction to the state as to the measure to be taken for the protection of railway. Now 1 and 2 lists are given there here. Article 14 is for the state shall not discriminate against the citizen ground on religion, race, 6. So it is Article 15, and the state shall not deny the person equality before law. It's 14. And against untouchability is 17, and 16 is there shall be equal opportunity for the citizen matter relating to the employment. So next is the Central Rural Sanitation Program was launched 1986 to improve the quality of life of rural India, and pupil sanitation is subject in the concurrent list in the its state list. Health is always a state list. So answer will be C, okay. Which article of the Constitution of India say no child below the age of 14 shall be employed in the work in the factories? Article 24, okay. So it is the fundamental right against exploitation, part 3rd of Constitution of India, and fundamental right is a charter of rights contained in the consolidated India and guarantees civil liberty such that the Indian leads there in the harmony and citizen of India. So it is now 124. Now we are going to discuss 125, okay. So according to the National Human Rights Commission, which one of the following is can be chairman? So only retired Chief Justice of India will be the chairman of National Human Rights Commission. So according to the National Human Rights Commission, the chairperson must be retired Chief Justice of India. The commission consists of chairman, 4 members should be serving or retired judge of Supreme Court or serving retired Chief Justice of the High Court, and 2 persons having knowledge or practical experience with respect to the human rights. So the chairman or of National Commission for Minority, SC, ST and Women are member of NHRC. Who among the following are never the Lok Sabha Speaker? So C. K.V. Sundaram, Baliram Bhagat, G.C. Dhillon and Hukam Singh. So no, K.V. Sundaram was not. Okay, and we can say here. Now next one is Department of Women and Child Development. It's Department of Official Language and Department of Drinking Water. It's Ministry of Water Resources. So I think none of the above will be the answer because the languages was in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, and Women and Child Development under the Ministry of Human Resource Development before that, and now it's changed, so it is also wrong. And Department of Drinking Water Supply is Ministry of Drinking Water and Supply. It's Sanitation. Okay, so it's not the Ministry of Water Resources. Consider the following events: 4th general election, formation of Haryana, Mysore name, Karnataka, Meghalaya and Tripura become all states. So now it's A 2143. So 2 is the formation of Haryana, 2-1, and A is the 4th general election, 2-1 4 Meghalaya and Tripura, and 3 is Mysore named the Karnataka. So formation of the Haryana was the first, then 4th general election, then Mysore named the Karnataka, and the Meghalaya and Tripura become the full states. So formation of Haryana, then general election, and then Mysore, then Meghalaya and Tripura. So answer is here 2-1 and 4-3, 2-1. So 2 is the first of Haryana, then 4th general election, then 4 Meghalaya and Tripura become the states, and then Mysore name. Mysore is the last one that changed the name. Okay. So which one of the following correct sequence is given there? So it's Attorney General, Judge of Supreme Court, Member of Parliament, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Next, Judge of Supreme Court, yeah. Then Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, then Attorney General, then Member of Parliament. So I think B will be the right, because Judge of the Supreme Court, then Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, then Attorney General in the third place, then the Member of the Parliament. Okay, so next, consider the following dispute with the mobile cellular companies and motor accident case and pension cases. So here is the 2 motor accident cases there. So for which of above are Lok Adalat held? Lok Adalat are held for the motor accident cases only, but for the pension and dispute for the mobile cellular is not. Okay, so the Lok Adalat is government settled dispute through conciliation and compromise. The Lok Adalat was held in Madras, and since Lok Adalat have been exclusively organized for the settlement of motor third party claims, pension Lok Adalat has been constituted but was not ever held. Consider the following statement: Part 11 of the Constitution of India provision for Panchayat and was inserted by the Constitution Act 1992, and 9A of the Constitution of India contains provision for municipalities, and Article 243 envisages 2 types of municipality: municipal council and municipal corporation for the every state. So both of statement we are seeming like it's true, but it's not true both of one. It's only one is true, like Constitution of India provision for Panchayat was inserted, but 9A is Constitution of contain provision municipalities, and which is 2 type of municipalities. There is a 3 types of municipalities. Okay, municipal council, corporation, and the Nagar Panchayat. So it's 3 tier system, not 2 tier system. So we can see between the given statement 1 and 2, the 73rd Amendment Act, with which got President assent 25 April 93 after ratification of required number of states, provided constitutional guarantee for formation of panchayat, inserted 9 and 11 schedule, and it correct that 9A of Constitution of India contain provision for municipalities and Nagar Panchayat, Municipal Council, smaller area, and Municipal Corporation. Next one is consider the following. Article 371A to 371I were inserted in the Constitution of India to meet regional demands of Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, Andhra Pradesh, Sikkim, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa. It may be right. Constitution of India and the Union of America envisages a dual polity like union and the state, but a single citizenship. It's a dual citizenship in America. A naturalization of citizen of India can never be deprived of its citizenship. So it can be deprived. So A only the answer. So they belong to the country whether India's citizen can acquire citizenship through naturalization, has renounced the citizenship of his country, residing in the 11 year, so has good moral character, working knowledge of Indian language. He must not be a citizen of a country whether Indian citizen are prevented like becoming citizen naturalization, like USA and India there is a single citizenship of only India. Naturalized citizen can be deprived of its on the basis of fraud, disloyalty, and constitutional. Okay, now next. Consider the following statement. Article 301 is pertain to the right to property. It's not right to property, it's for the trade. It's wrong. Right to property is a legal right but not a fundamental right. That's true. And 301 is A was the inserted in the constitutional amendment. Yes. So 2 and 3 both are right. So 2 and 3. The Indian Constitution does not acquire the property fundamental right and eliminate the right to property of fundamental. It is inserted constitutional legal right in the comes at 300. So 88 amendment is for the empowering center levy the appropriate taxes. Its A is right. So 88 constitutional amendment is inserted in new article 368A. It was enforced and as such, a tax shall be collected and appropriated both of center and state. It made consequential change to Article 270 also. Next is the Constitution of India has 40 parts. It's 22 parts. There are 395 articles and 9 and 10 schedules are added to the Constitution of India by the Constitution Amendment. So third is only right. Okay, now next question we are going to discuss. Next question is about who among the following was the chairman of the Union Constitutional Committee of the Constitutional Assembly. It's the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So the major committee formed under the Constitutional Assembly and the chairman are the drafting committee Ambedkar and the steering committee Rajendra Prasad and Union Constitutional Committee Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, the Constitution of United States of America came under Article 1810 and all the revenue bills must originate in the House of Representatives and George Bush is only president in the history of the United States of America. It's not right. The Constitution of United States of America came into force 1810. It's also wrong. 1789. Okay, only B is the answer. So next one is match the following: Netherlands State General, Ukraine Supreme Council, Poland Sejm, Japan Diet. Okay, next. The Parliament cannot enlarge the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India as its jurisdiction is limited to the conferred by the Constitution, and the officer and the servant of the Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the concerned Chief Justice, and administrative expenses are charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. It's a concerned Chief Justice. It's not concerned Chief Justice. Wait, like Parliament cannot enlarge the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. So Parliament only enlarge. Okay, so it's wrong. And second is officers of servants of the Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the concerned Chief Justice and administration expenses are charged on Consolidated Fund of India. So it is right. Okay, so only the statement 2 is correct because the servant Supreme Court and High Court are appointed by the concerned Chief Justice and the administration expenses charged on the Consolidated Fund of India. But it one is not correct. Supreme Court of jurisdiction and power with respect to the matters of union list can be enlarged by Parliament, and jurisdiction and power with respect to other matters can be enlarged by special agreement of center and state. Now next, there shall be 25 High Court is 24 first of all. Punjab, Haryana, Union Territory, Chandigarh have common. Yes, and National Capital of Territory of Delhi has the High Court. It's true. Delhi has a High Court of its own. So Delhi, yeah. Okay, 2 and 3 is correct. Now next is who was the Chief Justice of India when public interest litigation was introduced to the Indian judicial system. So it was P.N. Bhagwati. So P.N. Bhagwati was the Chief Justice of India when public interest litigation was introduced in the Indian judicial system. Which one of the following commission was set up in the pursuance of definite provision under the article of the Constitution of India? It's a definite provision under article of Constitution of India. It's election commission. So the election commission was set up to pursuance of the definite provision under article of the Constitution of India. Okay, so A person who has hold office as a permanent judge of High Court cannot plead or act in any court or before any authority in India except the Supreme Court. A person is not qualified for the appointment as a judge of High Court in the India unless he has for at least 5 years hold a judicial office in the territory of India. So a person who holds office as a permanent judge of High Court cannot plead or act in any court or before any authority in India except of the Supreme Court. So it's High Court, not Supreme Court. Next, a person is not qualified for appointment as a judge of the High Court in India unless he has for at least 5 years hold a judicial office in the territory of the India. Judicial office is like 7 years and 10 years in the High Court. In the district court he should be 7 years and for the High Court it should be 10 years. So it's not 5 years. So 2 will be wrong and 1 is also wrong, because he is talking about like a person who hold office of permanent judge of High Court cannot plead or act in any court before the authority of India except Supreme Court. So it's except High Court, not Supreme Court, because he is from High Court. Now next, with reference to the Government of India various program, what is Nirmal Gram Puraskar? So it is a incentive scheme for Panchayati Raj institution, Nirmal Gram Puraskar. Okay, next is, which one of the following subject is under the Union List 7 schedule of Constitution? So it is the regulation of labor safety of mines and minerals, oil fields. So 7 schedule of Constitution. So regulation of labor and safety, mines, oil field is a list of agriculture, fishery, public health. So 7 schedule consists union, state and concurrent list. But here is the under the union list 7 schedule. It's the agriculture is state, fishery state, public health state. So only labor and safety, mines and oil. Consider the following statement: there is no provision in the Constitution of India encourage equal pay for equal work. It's wrong. There is a provision. The Constitution of India does not define backward classes, so it's true. Okay, next. The Rajya Sabha alone has the power to declare it would be in national interest for the parliament legislature with respect to a matter of the state list. So yes, Rajya Sabha has the power, and the resolution approving the proclamation of emergency are passed only by Lok Sabha. So emergency can be passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, not only the Lok Sabha. So the Article 249 was the first, and second is a resolution approved by the proclamation of emergency are passed only by the Lok Sabha. Is wrong. It's passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Next question is, what does the 104 constitutional? It provides quota to socially and educationally backward classes in private educational institution. So it was the 104 to related to quota to socially and educationally backward classes in private educational institution. In India, every state has a high court in its territory, and the Constitution of India provides a high court in each state. So in India, every state has high court in territory, and the Constitution of India provides a high court in each state. So B is right, but in India every state has a high court. It's wrong. Okay, now next, free and compulsory education to the 6 to 14 year of group by the state by the 76 is 86. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan seek to be provide the computer education. It's right, and the education was included concurrent list and 42nd amendments. So that's also right. Next one is, who are the speaker of the first Lok Sabha? It's the G.V. Mavlankar. Okay, next is, who among the following has been the Union Finance Minister of India? It is all of the above. V.P. Singh was also the Finance Minister, Chavan also, and Venkataraman was also, and Pranab Mukherjee was also. Mukherjee, Singh, Chavan, and Venkataraman, and many more like Mathai, Deshmukh, and Krishnachari, Jawaharlal Nehru, Morarji Desai, and T.T. Krishnachari again, and Sachindra Chaudhary, and Shanmukham Shetty was the first finance minister. So have little bit knowledge about that. And there is a list of them. Last was Arun Jaitley, and presently Arun Jaitley. Okay, next is like Nirmala Sitharaman presently. The Council of Ministry in the Union of India is collectively responsible for the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Only Lok Sabha, not Rajya Sabha. The member of both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are eligible to be the Ministry of the Union Government. So C will be the basically A is false, so D will be the answer. Okay, next. The Judge Bill 2006 contemplate the establish a judicial council which will be receive complaints against Judge of the Supreme Court, including the Chief Justice of India and Chief Justice of High Court. So Chief Justice of India is not available there. Okay, judicial council. But under the protection women from domestic violence, women are file a petition before first class judge. That's true. The Judge Inquiry Act is to judicial council which will be receive complaints against the judges of Supreme Court and High Court except the Chief Justice of India. But for the purpose of the reference procedure, not the complaints procedure, and the Chief Justice of India will be included. It also seek to introduce ethics for the judiciary. Okay, next is the chairman of the Commission of the Public Account is appointed by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and the Committee of the Public Account member of Lok Sabha, member of Rajya Sabha, and few eminent person of trade. So only one is right, like the chairman of committee on the public account is appointed by the speaker of the Lok Sabha, and the committee on public account and committee on the Lok Sabha, member of the Rajya Sabha, and a few eminent person of the trade. So B is wrong, only one is right. So chairman of the committee of public account is appointed by the speaker. Okay, and the committee of public account, member of Lok Sabha, member of Rajya Sabha, and few eminent person. It's wrong. It's like only Lok Sabha and some are Rajya Sabha. No eminent persons are there in the public account committee. Now, sorry. So now we are going to discuss about (156) we discussed. Now come on 157. Which one of the following constitutional amendment act seek that the size of the council of ministry at the center and in the state must not be exceed 15%? So it is 91 constitutional amendment that the total number of the ministry including the prime minister and central council of ministry shall not exceed 15% of total strength of Lok Sabha, article 71 and 75, and the other house of parliament belonging to the political party whose disqualification on ground of defection shall also be disqualified to be appointed as a minister, and the total number of ministry including the chief ministry, council of ministries, the state shall not be 15% total strength, and a number of ministry including the chief minister in the state shall not be less than 12. So a member of either house of state legislature belonging to any political party who is disqualified on the defection shall also disqualified to be appointed as minister. Consider the following: a proclamation of financial emergency issued shall be ceased to be operated at the expiration of 2 months. Alright, an explanation of period has been approved by the resolution both the House of Parliament. So it's true, and if an proclamation of financial emergency is it competent for the President to India to issue direction for the reduction salary allowances and serving connection with the affairs of union and excluding the judges. It's including the judges, not excluding. So 2 is wrong and 1 is right. Okay. So okay. Next, which one of the following correct chronological order? It's Nagaland, then Haryana, and then Sikkim, then Arunachal Pradesh. So Nagaland and Haryana was the prior build up. It's Nagaland, then Haryana, then Sikkim last, then Arunachal Pradesh most of the last. So here's the list: Nagaland, Haryana, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Kerala, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Goa, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and Telangana was the last. So Goa was the last, then Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand. Chhattisgarh was first, then Uttarakhand, then Jharkhand, and in middle Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand. Okay, and last is the Telangana. And next is the mode of removal of judges of the High Court in the India is same as that of removal of judges of the Supreme Court. So it's true, mode is same exactly. And after retirement from the office, a permanent judge of High Court cannot plead or act in any court or before any authority of India. No, he can do work, but not upper authority, but in lower authority, High Court, in which he had hold the office. So he cannot serve in the any court before any authority in India except the Supreme Court or High Court, other than the High Court. Which of the following included in the Directive principle of the state policy, the prohibition of, like, he can hold the office upper office, not the lower than what, like if I am a high court judge and I can go for the supreme court judge, not the high court, like if I'm a chief justice of high court, then I will go for the member, like judiciary of the supreme court. Okay, like directive principle of state policy, prohibition of traffic in the human being. Okay, it's forced labor, so it's fundamental right. Prohibition of consumption except medical, like it's directive principle. So B is the only answer. Okay, here. So it's a prohibition of traffic of human being, a forced labor is mentioned in the Article 23, and prohibition of consumption except medicinal purpose, intoxicant drinks and other drugs are injurious to the health. So next is the Constitution of India provided that the Legislative Assembly of each state shall consist of not more than 450 members chosen by direct election from Electoral Constitution of India. It's 250. A person shall not qualify to be chosen and fill the seats in the Legislative Assembly of the state if she shall 25 years of age. So first is 250 and second is right, 25 age is given for the Legislative Assembly for the qualification of the voting system. Okay, next is the Constitution of India provides that the Legislative Assembly of the each state shall consist not more than 500 members chosen by direct election from the territorial constitution, and the Legislative Assembly is the popularly elected house of the state legislatures. Minimum strength should be 60 and maximum should be 500. The Legislative Assembly Sikkim Mizoram Act 60 member, and 173 of Indian Constitution mention about the qualification for the membership of the state legislation. Person can become a member of Legislative Assembly, citizen of India, 25 year of age, possess such other qualifications. So age is 25, citizen of India, and possess such other qualification as may be prescribed under the law enacted by the Parliament. Under which one of the following Constitutional Amendment Act for languages of the 8th Schedule of Constitution of India, thereby raising 22. So 92nd Amendment was there. It was the 2004 when it received President assent, provided 4 more languages, 8th Schedule of Constitution. Next is, which one of the following is the largest area of Lok Sabha constituency? So it is the Ladakh area. Next is the Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer was the Chief Justice of the India, and Krishna Iyer considered as PIL. That's true, but he was not a Chief Justice. He is just Justice. Okay, so it was completed. Now, how many High Court is Indian have jurisdiction over more than one state? So it is the 3 High Court. Okay, where the more than jurisdiction of one state. Now next is which one of that? So this is like we will see here. This is given the list. Okay, Hyderabad, and now Mumbai, Kolkata, Kerala, Chennai, Punjab and Haryana. So more than 3 was there, but UT is not included. It's asking about UT is not included. So we will never include the UT, but in 3 UT is included. So there is only 3 where UT is not included. Okay, now next is, which schedule of Constitution of India contains special provision for the administration of control of schedule area in several states? So it is the 5th schedule, which is contain the schedule area in the several states. So 6th schedule is for the Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh. And 5th schedule is for the administration and control of schedule area and tribes. Who among the following have hold the office of the Vice President of India? So it is the Muhammad Hidayatullah and Shankar Dayal Sharma, both Muhammad Hidayatullah and Shankar Dayal Sharma. Okay. Next is the Nagendra Singh was the President, International Court of Justice. N. Ray is Chief Justice of India, and R.K. Trivedi is Chief Election Commission, and Ashok Desai is Attorney General of India. Okay. Now, how many high courts in India have jurisdiction over more than one state, union territory not included? So it is 3. Oh, now 170. If a panchayat is dissolved, election are to be held within its 6th month. Okay, so a clear term of 5 years has been provided for the every panchayat election must taken place before the expiry of term, it can be however be dissolved earlier on specific ground, in which case election must take place within 6 months of dissolution. So a panchayat constitution after premature dissolution to constitute only for the remaining periods, and there would be no needs for fresh election in the remaining time. Consider the following statement. Governor of Punjab is concurrently the administrator of Chandigarh. It's true. Governor of Punjab is administrator of Chandigarh. Okay, the governor of Kerala is concurrently Lakshadweep. It's not Lakshadweep, it's Andaman. No. So it's Daman and Div and Puducherry and Nagaland. Andaman and Nicobar Island is given here. So president may be appointed governor of the state. It's given here like governor of Punjab is the administrator of Chandigarh, and the constitution provides to 35 that state union territory shall administered by the president and appointed by him. So administrators are variously designed during and Puducherry and Andaman Nicobar and Chandigarh and Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman Diu and Lakshadweep. It's given here. Okay. The Advocate General of State in India is appointed by President of India upon the recommendation of Governor. It's wrong. It's pleasure of President. And the provided in the Civil Procedure Code, High Court have original, appellate and advisory. Not all three. It's only original. Okay. So according to the appointment of Governor or hold office during the pleasure of Governor, and only a person qualified judge of High Court can be appointed as a post, and each state advocate general of official corresponding to the attorney general, which similar function of the state. And recommendation determine the governor. Article 177 empower to be speak and to take part in the proceeding of the legislature of the state, to speak and to take part in, but he has no right to vote in it, and as provided in Civil Procedure Code, High Court are not original but appellate and advisory jurisdiction. So High Court are not original. High Court is not have the original jurisdiction, but appellate and advisory. In India, the first municipal corporation was set up in which among the following? It's Chennai.